Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Saturday, January 22nd, 2021. One of the headlines that broke late last night, it's breaking in a lot of news sources this morning. Actress Regina King, her son reportedly committed suicide yesterday, Friday, January 21st, the day we had circled for headlines just like this. We call it the kill date. Once a month, there's a date that we refer to as the kill date, and it's always full of celebrity death. As we talked about Louis Anderson yesterday, Meat Loaf, Jim Forbes, NBA Olympian basketball coach. There was even more, but this is another one that gets added to the list. Regina King's son. Regina King was recently in the Watchmen series, which is one of the ultimate pieces of predictive programming put out by HBO for COVID and the George Floyd riots before they happened. And again, that's because all of these things are the work of the Jesuit Cabal. And before I go any further with this Regina King story, besides the celebrity deaths, this was a headline yesterday on the kill date. Airstrike kills 70 people and knocks out internet in Yemen. And Yemen's been getting bombed all week. As we talked about, supposedly they were responsible for a drone strike that was a clear Jesuit ritual. The Jesuits are behind all this stuff. Every celebrity death you read about that's suspicious, Jesuits, stuff like this is the Jesuits. The Jesuits are the New World Order, and everything's synced up with them and their leader. Notice how yesterday they reported 70 were killed in an airstrike in Yemen. In Gematria, airstrike equals 70, and yesterday was 70 days after the leader of the Jesuits' birthday. Now notice the word suicide, come back through all of this, but suicide also equals 70. Suicide also 70. And here's why we call it the kill date. Once a month, there's a date that has multiple numerology that sync with the word kill. The word kill equals 44 with the alphabetic order, 64 with the reverse alphabetic order. A word like comedian equals 44 and 64, forwards and backwards. I noticed this kill pattern the day Dick Gregory died because it made me observe his death, and then I went back and looked at other deaths, and we've been talking about it every single month since. And again, Dick Gregory died exactly 53 months, well, 53 months and days. He died August 19th, 2017, but 53 months and days before this latest kill date. But I've been here every single month educating about this pattern and saying, look out for the next month with the kill date. It's going to be the same thing, and it's been the same thing every single month. Because what you see is the people who die, they have connections to the numbers. Meat Loaf equals 44. You know, they saved that he died the night before the kill date, but then the news broke on the kill date. That happens as well. But notice, Ian Alexander Jr., 64. The word kill, 44 forward, 64 in reverse. The thing we said that was going to be real bad about January 21st is not only did it have the kill date numerology this year, last year it was on January 22nd. Hank Aaron, number 44, was dead on the kill date. Then his Braves went on to win the World Series. You know, Meat Loaf's dead yesterday, 44 years after his Bat from Hell album came out. And again, he died on the anniversary of Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off a bat. But this year it fell on January 21st. Blood Sacrifice is 121. Next year in January, it'll fall on January 20th. We know that's going to be full of Jesuit rituals. It's their number 201. But notice, her son's name fits in with the kill pattern. This is just like the coach. Coach Jim Forbes, 64. You know, Louis Anderson, the comedian. And if you missed the videos that we did yesterday, check them out. Because, I mean, there's a lot more to all of it. But every single month, you can see why the celebrities are dead that are dead on the kill date. Notice that Regina King has the same January 15th birthday as MLK. That's his birthday, January 15th. And this death comes on the Friday at the end of MLK week, right? MLK Day was Monday. You see how she turned 51? That's a big number in her hometown, Cincinnati, which is Jesuitville. Xavier in Cincinnati is one of the nation's limited Jesuit universities, but 51 is a special number. Rome equals 51. In this case, Alexander equals 51. The surname of her son. Conspiracy's 51. Did I say Cincinnati equals 51? Because if not, it does. Cincinnati, big number there, 51. So she's from Cincy right after she turns 51 on the kill date, the week of MLK Day. You know, her son's dead. And her full name has fateful gematria. Regina Renee King. Gematria 79 and 83, like the word murder. Society of Jesus 79. Xavier equals 79, for the record. Again, that's the Jesuit school in Cincinnati. She's commonly referred to just as Regina King, which equals 59, like slave, Negro, blues, Rasta. Talk about that pattern all the time. In light of her son dying 6 days after her birthday at 26. Remember, those are biblical numbers. The Jesuits are a biblical gang. They represent the Catholic Church. 26 and 6 fit together in Genesis 1:26, where God makes man on the 6th day. We're in the time of the first Jesuit pope, who's the 266th pope, 26 next to 6. He spoke in D.C. on the 266th day of the year in 2015 when he came to town. The Jesuit motto is Sus Hominum Salvators 266. And as we know, the Jesuits like 126 a lot too. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, dead at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass when Kobe Bryant equals 41. I didn't even look into the husband angle. There could be something there with that. I got to go quick, though, because I got to start a live stream on Patreon here in just a second. But here's an interesting article about her son and her, the son that's now passed away. On September 20th, 2020, they talked about how they were studying Kabbalah together, and they both got these matching Hebrew tattoos. Now, remember, this entire practice of letters and numbers and dates all comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. It's very interesting that this article was published September 20th, the 263rd day of the year. That's the 56th prime. Society of Jesus, 56. Tree of Life, 56. That's the physical model for Kabbalah. So, you know, interesting. They're taking Kabbalah classes and they got matching Kabbalah tattoos. And now the son is dead. By the way, the new #1 movie or show on Netflix about a building burning up in New York, right at the beginning of the movie, it starts with a poster of Sinead O'Connor, whose son just supposedly committed suicide at age 17 on January 7th, 1/7. Kill is also 17. But in light of her being in Watchmen and winning awards for this and being the star of this show, again, this is one of the biggest pieces of predictive programming that was put out just before COVID, and it's been synced up all with coronavirus. If you haven't seen it, like, it's a world where there's a virus going around, everyone wears a mask, you know, it's all this racial tension, fighting. We've talked about this show, but she's one of the big stars. HBO's completely Jesuit, you know, run. So I have a feeling that her recent success in this show and the son's death at this time, I don't think it's an accident. So, again, suicide 70, dead 70 days after the Superior General's birthday, the same day the airstrike reportedly kills 70 in Yemen. Again, the Jesuits are the New World Order. You learn this code, you see how the headlines worldwide are synced ritualistically in connection to the Superior General, Arturo Sosa right now, and Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope. Not to mention, this is the first time they've ever had a superior general from the New World, which is Latin America, the Americas, and the first time there's been a pope from the Americas, and the first Jesuit pope. And think about it, New World Order, superior general, and pope from the New World. I mean, think about it. Also in the kill date, they had to bring back this, Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. Remember, she was wearing the Zion t-shirt. Zion equals 44 like Israel. Her body was found in Wyoming, the 44th state. His suicide was synced up with her death. They were all kill number rituals. We talked about it before either of them were reported dead. And they had to bring this back on the kill date. And again, 44-64, the FBI is bringing the story. FBI is 64, you know. So both of their deaths had everything to do with the kill numbers. They bring back the story on the kill date. And like we said, Gabby Petito, small talk. Brian Laundrie. Brian is a reshuffling of brain. Laundry wash, brainwash, nonstop propaganda, mind control. It's what it is all day, every day. And when you learn the code, you see how it's by the numbers. Shout out to Neo the hacker who caught that one of the associates of the Tom Clancy series died at age 93 on 20/1/20193. Numbers of the Jesuit Cabal, numbers of the Order of Illuminati, so many rituals with the CIA and the Tom Clancy series and the Jesuits. What do you know? One of the creative designers ends up dying in a big Jesuit ritual, in a show that we've talked about many a times with its very clear Jesuit connections. The character Jack Ryan in the Tom Clancy series from the book Red Rabbit has the quote, "Us Jesuits run the world, we're just humble about it." You know, they got John Krasinski from The Office, which ran 201 episodes, to play the CIA Jack Ryan agent. You know, and again, the CIA's logo, Central Intelligence Agency, United States of America, 201. This guy's dead on 20/1. And remember, like more than a year ago, I was joking about how before long, the sodomite Jesuit gang that was clearly behind coronavirus with their Event 201 simulation, the Jesuit Order 201, Ignatius of Loyola 201, all the Jesuit 201 stuff, I said before long, they'll be up people's ass looking for COVID. And then we got the headline last January that's what they were doing in China. They started anal swabbing people for COVID. Now, look, they're bringing back the anal swabs for the Olympics. And where the Jesuit Order is 201, so is Winter Olympics, so is Summer Olympics. And again, you know, it's just like George Floyd dies in the huge 201 ritual, and then we're hearing about his teacher, Waynel Sexton, in the news. And then we're hearing about how the Catholic Church in Minnesota is settling for $22.5 million for raping little boys, while George Floyd's dead on his 225th day of his age, like $22.5 million. And then, you know, when they finally get to the Derek Chauvin sentencing, who was 44 years old when he killed George Floyd on the 44th parallel, like MLK was killed on 4/4. You know, again, Regina King's son's dead on the 44 date. Malcolm X died in connection to 44, MLK, so many. But George Floyd, when they sentenced Derek Chauvin, he got 22.5 years in prison to go with the $22.5 million for the sexual abuse of children. And then Waynel Sexton, I mean, you can't see that all this stuff's Catholic and Jesuit. You got to be completely blind to not. You got to choose to not see it. By the way, Watchman equals 129, like Georgetown, the first Jesuit university. Remember, a 129 is 201 in base 8 counting. Georgia just won the championship on the 129th day of their old coach's birthday, the last one to win the championship, whose name equals 129, who won 201 games with Georgia when he was the coach, and then they won it in Indianapolis, 201 town, where earlier this year the college basketball tournament was all about 201. Baylor winning it 201 days after Elgin Baylor's birthday, who bit the dust just days before the championship at 86, won with 86 points, and then 201 days before the Baylor coach's upcoming birthday, who went to school in Indianapolis. He was a Butler Bulldog. Then, of course, they beat Gonzaga, the Jesuit program in Washington State. The other one, because Elgin Baylor went to Seattle U. Again, Washington State and California are the only two states to have two Jesuit universities. There's only 27 in the nation. 2 are in Washington State, 2 are in California. The first is named after George Washington. That's why you got 2 in Washington State. And, again, Seattle U is where Elgin Baylor went. He dies. Then Gonzaga, the other Jesuit school, loses to the Christian school, but Baylor. And it's named after Aloysius de Gonzaga, which is 201. But all this stuff is Jesuit, and until the world gets that, this gang's not going to stop. For all the people who think all this stuff's a coincidence and, oh, no way could they do all this, you're wrong. They're doing it. They're doing it every day because they've been in the making for thousands of years. They're much older than this nation. They gave us the calendar, the language. They got the whole world under their thumb, and that's what needs to change. All these goons in the media telling you about COVID every day, look at them. They're almost every last one of them on the TV telling you about COVID every day. You got to know about the pandemic every day. The Capitol insurrection every day. All these things are big 201 Jesuit rituals, and everyone telling you all this shit about it. So almost every last one of them's a Jesuit. So anyway, we'll leave it there. I got to hop over on the Patreon. R.I.P. to the fallen. It's a sick world, man. I'm so sick of these people losing their children and not talking about it and just going along with it. It's just like, people are sick, man. The things people do for fame and fortune. Till next time.